Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space. Much has been said about the western frontier, the perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there, usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has, an opportunity with my name on it. The thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur. One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene. Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jem. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Legere.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Legere?
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl. But I had the good sense not to get caught. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office? So they do have the law here, in theory at least. End of the line. Until they connect it up from the coast, anyway. Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept. Soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat. Nothing inside? Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla. Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. I hope that isn't the town water supply.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
Just arrived in town. Name's Harley Leger. And you're Dr. Sedgwick?
At your service. Welcome to Rosewater and to my clinic. Anything in particular ailing you today?
I could use something cool to drink. It's hot as blazes, and I am this close to having a conniption.
You'll want to visit the Jack of Diamonds at the end of the thoroughfare. My stock doesn't offer much in the way of refreshment, I'm afraid.
Wouldn't expect to hear a doctor prescribing a visit to the saloon.
A sarsaparilla or weak beer, drunk in moderation, can be a perfectly healthful and thirst-quenching beverage. I'd recommend it over water in any case.
That's impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
Quite a variety of potions and tonics you've got here, Doc.
It's only a small part of the bounteous pharmacopoeia that nature might make available to us, if only we knew her secrets. There is so much to be discovered.
I imagine you get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place, warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will. I know where I stand on the matter.
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Holy hell! Are you all right, mister? Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor. come quick. I've got an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact. No obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right. He's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Miss Leger.
It was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please? Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Cozy. That cabinet's better organized than I'll ever be. They seem to be pretty active around here. I hope that means steady work. Impressive piece of machinery.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please, take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Well, it all started in New Britannia back in the winter of '05. Once things dried up in Pierre, I sent in my sample after seeing your ad. I got your response and hopped on the first train to Rosewater.
Well, that was certainly thorough. You've a talent for details, that's for sure. Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. Haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the toughs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Hot damn. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taken rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road, and his show is opening today at the Opera House, so he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see. The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I've still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but couldn't I write about something else? My style's more observational than, talking to people. I don't know that that's really my strong suit.
We're talking, aren't we? If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself beyond what you might be accustomed to. Besides, it's not as if you have to say anything particularly brilliant. Just get your subject talking and take notes. Finish this assignment, and maybe the next one will be more to your liking.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Didn't I mention that earlier?
You most certainly did not. I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next? Nice typewriter.
A first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
Hey, that's Devil's Tooth. I passed it on the train right here.
Quite a sight, isn't it?
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. The New Britannia Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
Exactly who was that gentleman just took a tumble out your second-story window?
I haven't a clue. Devil of a fella. Just busted in here and went straight for Joni's office. He wouldn't be put off, but insisted on speaking with the editor immediately. Said he intended to lodge a complaint. Suppose Joni didn't take too kindly to his manner of lodging.
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am? Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Looks like it's been up for ages. I wonder if they ever caught the guy. Or maybe he retired from crime. Or died of old age. Food delivery for the lazy. Now that is mighty tempting. These seem to be for decoration more than anything else. Excuse me, kid, I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay, look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well, now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here. I bet that piano hasn't been tuned since the De Leon administration. She's making the best of it, though.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't want to miss a second of it.
Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing. This place is falling apart, but these stone tiles were nice. Once. Never heard of this one. Betrayal, murder, revenge. Classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life. You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the ether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
Nah, but your little friend might think twice about hoodwinking strangers again.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
Hang on. Your brother? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Serious?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
You said you and your brother needed money. How about 2 crowns?
Well now, that's mighty kind of you. But this don't change the deal.
Why, you little bastard.
You want in, you gotta do me that favor.
If this Lola stole from you, why not report it to the sheriff?
Oh, come on. I thought you was sharp. That lazy tyrant would cuff my brother and me as soon as look at us. It's just the two of us. Me and him against the world. We got no one else to turn to. So, will you help us out?
You can go hang for all I care. But I want in this theater, so I'll do it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. This padlock's not going anywhere, not without encouragement. Too bad I didn't bring my lockpicks, or a hammer.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Legere.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or?
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Interesting place. Do men always fall from the heavens?
Beg pardon?
Some fool rolled off the roof at the Rosewater post just as I passed underneath.
Is he alive?
Yeah, Doc Sedgwick's tending to him as we speak.
I'll be needing to have some words with Joni. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. If you run into any more trouble, come and see me.
Hey, Sheriff?
Miss Legere?
What's the story with these guns?
Now these are standard issue repeaters, pretty powerful rifles. Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these.
Hey, Sheriff?
What can I do you for?
A man in your position must have plenty to say about the town he serves.
Suppose that's true, but a stroll down Main will tell you most everything you need to know.
Anything of interest in the surrounding area?
Not really. The San Bernardino Valley don't offer much in the way of sightseeing. There's an army fort, Fort Beaumont, and an abandoned relic that used to be a laboratory. There's also an Indian village on the other side of the valley, but you'll want to steer clear. I've heard tell they can be real territorial. But all that's outside my jurisdiction. When you leave my town, you're taking your chances out there.
Just how long have you been the sheriff here anyway?
Oh, a couple years now. Like most everyone else, I came to Rosewater in '48 when we thought the hills were full of Orem. Except I stayed when it turned out they weren't.
You were a prospector?
Yep. But it turns out lawman was a more stable career.
What's the story with Gentleman Jake?
Which one? If even half of them are true, he's a lion among men, a real Western hero. But you can catch his show while he's in town and hear it straight from the source.
Thanks for the chat, Sheriff.
Come back anytime.
Doesn't look too comfy, but I guess that's the point. Does this cell see much use?
Nah, not really. But that's fine by me. The less I have to clean out that pot, the better.
Not a bad view. Those are some stern-looking ladies. Looks like a pretty rough sort. This fellow still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. A plain leather bag. Wonder what's inside. What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I confiscated from a would-be burglar.
I can't just swipe these from right under his nose. A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. Hey, Sheriff.
Ma'am?
What was it you said about these guns?
Now these are standard issue repeaters. Pretty powerful
He'll notice they're...
Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these.
This thing's heavier than it looks. Bet I could do some real...
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Legere, thank you for submitting your sample. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post. How soon?
Hey, Sheriff.
What can I do you for?
I saw a lady coming out of the saloon earlier. She was older, fancy looking, sounded old country. Any idea who that is?
Can't say it rings any bells. Wonder what someone like that'd be doing in Rosewater.
That little weasel Jem is a real piece of work. What's his deal?
Did he cause you any trouble?
Nah, just tried putting on airs with his town greeter routine. But he was on his way once I let him know I wasn't having any of it.
That boy, he ain't a bad kid. Just been dealt a bad hand. I've tried setting him straight, but his head's harder than granite. Maybe it's time I set my foot down. Show him the inside of himself for a while.
Trust me, that'll only make things worse. Perhaps rather than tossing away the bad apple, you might look in the barrel and figure out what made it rot.
Say, you ain't one of those social reformer types, are you?
Let's just say I've seen my share of cruddy barrels. Thanks for the chat, Sheriff.
Come back anytime.
Shabby, but I've been to worse. Scenes from the wild country. A night campfire, a wild horse, and a bear in the mountains. Sure would be something to see all that up close and personal. Except maybe the bear. Someone's hunting trophy. The local populace getting sloshed. The local... This thing's heavier than it looks. Bet I could do some real damage. That did it. Tile's no good anymore, though. The smithy's cold furnace. That could be a good spot to stash something. Emptier than that fool Jem's head. Absolutely nothing. No watch, just old ash. Are these lucky horseshoes? If so, they didn't work. Nothing here. Doesn't look too Nothing here. The mirror's broken. Wonder who caught the bad luck. Seems the obvious place to keep valuables. Well now, what have we here? Got what I came for. Best not to stick around.
What in the ether is going on here?
You must be Lola Johnson.
That's right, Lola Johnson, who lives here.
I thought it had a certain domestic charm. Nice setup you have in here.
I don't know what you're playing at, but my patience is wearing thin.
I'll be going.
You do that.
Fancy. Too bad there doesn't seem to be a pawn shop in town. Fancy. Here's your watch back.
No fooling. You actually got it?
By a whisker. Lola turned up just as I was leaving.
Did she see you take it?
Don't think so. Anyways, that's my part of the bargain held up. You gonna let me in now?
Sure, go on. Oh, and thanks. I know we've had our tiffs, but I really do appreciate you getting this for me. My dear departed pa can rest easy again knowing his watch is back where it belongs.
That's not your watch at all, is it?
Well, it is now.
Kid, if I were you, I'd make myself scarce. Otherwise, the only way you'll be able to tell the time on that thing is by squatting over a mirror. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.